Today is January 14th, 2026. I'm here with Sean from Utah, great state of Utah, and we're here to talk about his progress. How you doing, Sean?
Doing good. How about yourself, Rich?
Good. We've been in pretty much close contact lately, and as usual, you send me a lot of your trades, and I'll be honest with you. You send me a shitload of trades, and I see your trades not almost daily, but weekly. I do, and the progress that you're making is crazy progress, and everything you're doing is like spot on. And we thought we'd do a progress report and give information to the community, what we can give without giving up the sauce. Yep. And where you are today and where you were maybe even 30 days ago, or since the last time that we talked. Go ahead.
I think I checked. It was probably like 15, 20 days ago that we had our last session, last little interview. And I think at that point I had almost passed my eval, and I was about to get a pro account on Take Profit Trader. In that time, I passed the eval, got the pro account, and was able to build up a buffer on the pro account and take my first payout off of the account. So that's been kind of something that's happened over the last couple of weeks. As far as the system goes, our trading strategy, every single day, like I said before, every single day, it just gets a little bit clearer and a little bit clearer, and you can start to see exactly what you're looking for, those little gems that are all over in the market, and you can start to see them a little bit clearer and clearer every day as it goes on. So yeah.
So was this your first payout ever?
Yeah, first ever payout. Yep.
What did you? How does that feel? How much was it? Let me see if I can pull it up. Actually, let me know if you can see that or not. Does this look familiar?
Yeah, that was my withdrawal request from yesterday for $9.89. They actually refunded me the initial fee for the account, so I actually ended up taking out like $1,100. Yeah. Nice.
So how much did this cost? How much did this account cost you then? If they refunded you the account?
It was free. it paid me.
So a skill is worth it, right?
Oh yeah.
So wow, how do you feel about that?
It's life changing. It's amazing. Like I'm in a position to take my second payout today, as well. So and it's crazy. I don't know.
Now, when you say you're in a position to take one out, did you already trade today?
Yeah, I did.
And did you make money? So when you say you're in a position, I'm assuming that you are going to have to wait and go through the process and wait till you receive the yellow withdrawal button.
Yeah. So I mean, I made like 1,300 today, 1,350. Once that processes through the account and allows me to withdraw, I can submit for the second one. So,
wow, nice. So $1,300 today, huh?
Yep. That
Nice.
was kind of through last night and this morning trading. So
yeah. And what were you trading?
I was trading mostly gold and NASDAQ. So
okay, so you're flipping back and forth.
Yeah, got kind of both screens there, watching them both and taking the entries as the gems pop up. So.
And then, so that's what I was just going to ask you is you're watching both the NASDAQ and gold, and you're seeing what sets up first, and then you go ahead and take that?
Yep.
That's a nice plan. Nice. Yep. Really nice. And then what are you using, micros, minis?
This last couple weeks, I've been using minis, just one mini in my entry, but being really, really precise on the entries and making sure that everything lines up, or that I'm trading off of something that I recognize with a lot of information behind it.
Nice. And how do you feel about that? I actually did a video today, and I talked about perfection. That, we want to be the best that we can be. And everyone is built differently. Everyone can study differently, and everyone's not going to get, everyone's going to have to work on different weaknesses, but based, and that's just generic. And that's just word salad. Actually, it's generic in a sense that, not one strategy works for everyone, and find your way, and my strategy is not going to work for you, and your strategy is not going to work for me. Be honest with how you feel about that. Like, be honest with all of this word salad. What would you say about that?
I would probably have to just say you have to have something objective to look to. Like, you have to, it's how it is in life and in everything in life. If you're never going to be able to improve in anything or get better at a skill if you can't objectively look back at something and say, this is where I need to improve. And if, all these word salad people that just make up stories and, say, hey, this is doing this because of this, or I want it to I think it'll go here. You know, once they start inputting the I think into the equation, you get rid of all the objectivity in the market, and you start guessing, gambling, basically. Yeah.
So how could you check yourself if you don't know how to read the chart?
You can't. You have to know how to read it, and you have to know the language that it speaks.
Okay. So if someone goes back in history, and these are trivia questions, I don't know how you're going to answer them, but we're going to debate and discuss. If someone goes back in history and starts to point and find things and say, well, this is objective, and that's objective, and this is objective, and then all of a sudden, this is the why I got in because of this high or low, because I went back in history and it rejects off these highs and lows. Would that be accurate way to read the chart?
No, definitely not. I mean, in a sense, I guess you could say it is objective, but how in depth is that objectivity? Are you just saying, are you basing that off of one candle that came down and touched that area, and then maybe like 60 or 70 candles later, you had one candle that touched that area? So you're basing everything in that, you know, your support and resistance strategy off of one or two candles that touched a horizontal line, versus having maybe 30 confluences that tell you, you know, what way price is going to go.
And when you say 30 or 20 confluences, is that difficult?
No.
The way I teach you?
No, it's very straightforward.
So when we talk about objectivity, someone will automatically go back and say, well, this is objective, and that's objective, and this is objective. Therefore, I have an objective trading style. That would not be accurate. And correct me if I'm wrong. This is live. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just because you go back in history and you find something doesn't mean it's going to repeat. Because if you're taking highs and lows and the price goes up and down, what is the strongest high and low out of all of the highs and lows? And you can't go back and repeat that, because as price moves from left to right, that high and low no longer exists. Do you agree with that?
Yep, definitely.
Because there's closures up and above it and below it, and that's how the moving average is created. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Have you seen people trade fair value gaps or breakup structures in all of this information? And in your honest opinion, are they even trading them? Not that you're smarter than them, not that I'm smarter than them, but I know how to read the chart.
Yeah.
So if I know how to read the chart and read the language of the chart, then I could say with certainty in my experiences and evidence that is proven that how they're trading is essentially gambling. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
And why do you say you would agree with that?
I just feel like there's not enough information behind it. You know, they might say, oh, it's almost like just getting pieces of the puzzle instead of the whole thing at one time. Like when we go in and we break it down, we are surgically dissecting the chart and getting all the information that it's going to give us. And if you don't have all the information that the chart is willing to give you, then you're essentially gambling. You're essentially gambling on the fact that this one piece of information that you have, or two pieces of information that you think you have, that you think may be correct, is correct, when in reality, all the other information that the chart has provided you and told you, if you understood the language, would guide you on where to go.
Yeah, so it's literally a foreign language, right?
Yep.
So if you quit trading for the next 3 months, hypothetically, and you came back 3 months later, would you know how to read that chart?
Yeah, you can't unsee once you see it, and once you kind of understand how it moves and how the algorithm works, you just know. And when you know how price is forming and what it's doing, you know what you're looking for, and you know what you're not looking for. And so it takes away a lot of the confusion in the chart. The chart's made to confuse us, right? And so having the gems that we look for really takes away a lot of the confusion and the noise in the chart.
Nice. So reading the chart, and when I say, you know, there's if we trade on a minute time frame, there's 1,440 candles in a day, right? Like I said, I did a video earlier today. Didn't trade the open. I came back. I wasn't going to trade. I was going to actually go pick up some lunch for later. So I'm going to do a few videos today. And then I decided I'm driving near the home. I'm going to go home. I'm going to populate the chart, and I'm going to trade. And as soon as I did that, I was in the market, out of the market, like 2.5 minutes later, got my fix, and I was done for the day. Would you call that a full-time trader?
No.
It's almost laughable, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
It's crazy that I can come and sit down for 10 or 15 minutes and make, and like we say, it's not about the P&L, but the skill to be able to come and do that and to execute a trade and ultimately make the amount of money that I would make, you know, in a day's worth of work in just a few minutes. And so it really is It's crazy.
So a day's worth of work. Wait a minute. What kind of job you got, right? $1,300 in a day?
Well, that today I would say was a pretty good day, but I mean, if you could make $400 or $500, even $300, $400, $500 in a day, that's a really good paying job for most people, like
yeah, it is
8 hour day.
It is. And what we don't realize is the power of it, right?
Yep.
And if we don't realize the power, it can get away from us at times.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're going to lose your skill. It's going to mean that you're getting a little greedy.
Yep.
And we have to stay focused. And but we will get greedy at times. Absolutely, you will. It's a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when, and not yet. But we cannot. We're human, right? So greed leads to a possible tilt, or greed leads to a possible blown account. Or are you starting to understand when I talk about vibration in the candle? Because you're trading a lot. I see your charts and your executions. I'll say for the record that Sean is not just one and done. He's actually physically trading the chart, and he's following the chart, and he has a lot of executions. I don't sit there and count them. But at breathingwiththemarkets.com, I require the traders to show me their chart. If they're not going to show me the chart, I can't talk about the chart. I can't talk about the trade, because we have to have something that's objective in the market. And if I don't see the chart and I don't see the entries or the executions, whatever you want to say, and I'm not going to talk about my opinion, right? You tell me, when you send me a chart, you say, hey, listen, I didn't do good on this one trade, because of X, Y, and Z. And it's not an opinion. It's something that I can actually visually see and check. How do you feel about that?
It's amazing. I mean, how do you not get better when you have something like that to practice against every single day that's proven to work over and over and over again? And the more you do it, the more you practice, the more time you spend in it, the more clear it becomes, and you start seeing them more all over the market, not just in this one little spot that, you start understanding the language more and where it's likely going to go.
Mm-hmm. And your leverage, I noticed that you bumped your leverage up. So you bumped your leverage up since the last video. You were doing 1 or 2 micros back then, ish, scaling in or scaling out. Now you're doing minis. So people would say, oh, what do you mean you're doing minis? What size account do you have, by the way?
50,000.
Okay, so you have a $50,000 account, and you had to make $2,500 already. You had to make $2,500 on that account already prior to making a payout. But nobody wants to talk about that, right? So in order for you to pass your test, you have to make $2,500. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's $3,000 or $25,000.
3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So I make mistakes, I make errors, and I don't care. I just make mistakes and errors. I'm human. But okay, so $3,000. So you've already had to make $3,000, and then you took a payout the other day, and you're going to get ready to take another payout today. But nobody in the industry, anyone that wants to talk about, whether you're trading a prop firm, whether you're trading your personal account, which is personal account is easy, no rules. All you need is the money in the account to trade it. And so the skill that you have in order to make that, you are showing me your trades, which is a verification that you are not YOLOing, you are not gambling. You're in this for the long haul. Okay, there are people out there that'll get 20 accounts and they're not in it for the long haul. They're in it for a quick buck, and then they're going to throw their hands up and say, look what I did this entire year. And they're not going to tell you they gambled, but they cannot compete with themselves, not against other traders, but they can't even compete with the market. I have literally taught you how to attack that market on a daily basis. How do you feel about that skill moving forward? Even 10 years from now, 6 months from now, whatever it may be. Now, you may go into an area of, oh, wow, wait, what's going on? And the first thing you need to check is your leverage, because as your skill continues to grow, I tell you to live outside of your comfort zone, right? Mm-hmm. So are you getting to a comfortable area, and then are you expanding on your own with your leverage? I want you to talk about that comfort zone, because if we're not living outside of our comfort zone, we are not going to grow.
Yeah. So I feel like the reason why I started to up my leverage was because of the confidence that has grown over the last couple of weeks. I know you can, just like you said, the vibration in the candles, like as you're watching the candles, you can see it. You can see the movement in the candles. You can, based off of all the information that we've been given. I upped the leverage a little bit because I feel like you want the highest probability trade, right? We were looking for that highest probability trade off of a gem, and maybe we don't need it to run 5 candles to the north. We just need that one good, most likely kick to the north or the south, whatever we're looking for. And if I'm in 1 micro or 1 mini versus 1 micro, I can get that kick, close the trade quick, and I just made 250 bucks in 10 seconds. And then I look for the setup again. I look for it again. I look for that highest probability setup again to happen. And I do it again. And then I repeat it again. And maybe it does run 5 candles, 6 candles up, and it would have been a $7,000 or $8,000 trade. But that I'm looking for the highest probability. I'm looking for that highest probability push up. And the further away it gets from all of my indicators and all the signals that we use, the less likely it's going to do that. And so that's the beauty of the system that we use, the strategy that you've created. It ultimately shows us that door of right when you should execute, right before you should execute, right before that big kick. And we get in right before that big kick happens and secure the profits and get out, in and out quick.
It's beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
So 2 things on that. And the reason prop firms have trailing drawdowns is for that simple fact. So people say, well, you're only trading 10 seconds. We don't trade seconds and we don't trade minutes. We trade the trade.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
So we can't dictate how long it's going to take to get the spike or how long it's going to take to get that push. We could literally be in that trade 3 minutes or 5 minutes as it's priming.
Yep.
Right or wrong?
Yeah, correct.
So if we are in the area and I tell the traders, I teach them how if you open a soda bottle and you put all of the liquid inside the bottle and you shake that bottle up and then you go to turn the bottle on or you go to turn the bottle off. Fuck. If you go, yeah, this is a job. This is a free job. You know what I mean? I don't get paid for this shit. I don't. Thank God I'm retired. But so if you or take the cap off, then you get that explosion. And that's where I teach you where to be in the market is prior to the explosion, that outburst, that push up or that push down based on objective evidence in the market, based on a methodical approach to the market. Now, because of that trailing drawdown, it can work against you in a sense that it could push very fast up high and then take you out of the market because of the trailing drawdown. And that's why these prop firms have that. It's a business plan. It's not about, we want you to trade responsibly and risk management and all this. When they talk about risk management, that's a red flag. Straight up. That's a red flag. No risk management. We want trailing drawdown. We want you to take the profits. No, they know that if you know how to trade, like I'm teaching you how to trade, right? And you are actually applying and you are learning how to trade and you are actually trading. I'm not guiding you like saying, okay, take this trade, Sean, take that trade. You are actually physically doing it and you're showing it and you're proving to me that you are getting it. You are proving to me that you're getting it. And that's the most beautiful thing. That how you feel is something that I could not explain. I can explain how I feel, but I certainly could not explain how you feel. And when we get those spikes up, whether it be 10 seconds or whether it be a minute or whatever, we as a scalper or we as a prop firm trader or we as a live account, depending on the rules, we have to execute and get out of there also because of those factors. It's not hyper scalping. It is what are the rules and what are the parameters that we have to trade in. I have lost accounts. I have lost bigger money. I have lost big money because it ran and dipped back down and wiped me out because of the trailing drawdown. If I didn't have the trailing drawdown, I would have made some really, really, really good money and rewards. And it's not about the money, but it's about the facts in the market, what people don't talk about. They just talk about a P&L.
Yep.
And how do you feel about what I just said?
I feel like being able to show my trades like that, send you my trades, and also, just other people that I communicate with and about trading, being able to show them the executions is just next level. It's unreal. I go back and look at my executions after the chart's already formed, and obviously I didn't see the price when I made the execution. I didn't know where it was going to go, but I can look back and be like, damn, I got in at just the right time. I got out at just the right time. Everything was perfect. Everything lined up perfect. And I'll look at my wife and I'll be like, is this real? Is this seriously? Is this real? There's no way that this can be real. It's insane. It's next level. Yeah. That's
why I say the shit's fake. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
When we talk about, wow, I can't believe, and wow, is this real? I understand what you're talking about, but the community would say, well, maybe they're lucky. Maybe you're lucky. Could you say the trades that you're doing is luck?
No. I mean, if I can send you trades every single day for 2 weeks straight, then they all say the same thing. then it's not luck. I mean, there is no luck involved. This is skill. It's a skill in being able to find the gems that the market produces and exploit them.
There you go. And without hesitation, would you agree?
Yes.
Without
hesitation. It'll tell you before it's going to do it. It'll tell you, and that's when you execute.
Yeah, and you have to lean into it, right?
Yeah.
So not only did you gain the knowledge, you went back and back in history and verified the knowledge, verified it's repeatable. We don't try to figure out why it happens. It just does. It's an algorithm, right? Yeah. That's why it happens. It's an algorithm.
Who cares why it happens? It happens, and we get to exploit it and use it to our benefit. You know.
Have I ever told you that I wrote the algorithm?
No.
Would I ever claim that?
No.
Do I care about the algorithm?
No.
I just taught you how the language of the market moves, right? With the highest probability.
Yep.
And if things change, and they change in different areas, and they change in different ways, but the change goes back and repeats itself of all of these changes, highs and lows in different time frames, would it be humanly possible, not impossible, would it be humanly possible to make that chart move the way it moves with buyers and sellers?
No, definitely not. I mean, you can see the same thing repeating itself over and over and over again. And that's what, I mean, that's another part of how we do it too, is the more time you spend in the chart, the more you understand how the chart moves, and you see those patterns form over and over and over again. And that mixed with the strategy the strategy and understanding the movement of the chart and when the best time to execute trades is based off of the information that you've been given is key.
And when we talk about patterns, we're not talking about book patterns, right?
No.
We're not talking about go to the library or go read one of these books about the greatest patterns alive. We're actually talking about reading the language.
Yes.
And I say the language all the time is because I want people to understand that I'm not teaching you each and every single candle in there. I have broken it down in the simplest form and what to look for. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
So you were profitable today. And we're going to say this on the record is, as you're going through this phase of now you've taken, one of the first payouts of your life in a matter of a short period of time. There are people on the internet and there are people in Discords that have been trying for years and years to take a payout. They're gambling. I don't know what else to tell them. They're gambling. And support resistance, supply and demand, and all of these guru terminologies simply does not work in the market. And the reason I say that is because it is not repeatable. It is different each and every time you come up to a support, supply, or resistance area. You understand that, right?
Yep. So
you can't teach that. And if you can't teach it and it's not repeatable, and I'm not talking about repeatable, well, every time I get to a support, I just take a long, I buy it, and then I minimize my risk, and I'm looking for a pump, and I get out, and I'm okay. No, that's gambling.
Yep.
Do you use stop losses?
No.
Well, shit. Rule number 1, if you're not using a stop loss, you have piss poor risk management. What the hell would you say to a trader that says, hell, you don't know how to trade. You don't even know what, hey, honey, he doesn't even know what a stop loss is. This guy's a clown. What would you say?
I know what side of the market I'm on.
Yeah.
And risk starts before the execution of the trade.
Yeah.
Simple enough.
And it's not like I beat that in your head, like this is what you have to say, this is what you have to say. You've actually learned that. Is this true?
Yep. I've gone and proven it multiple times and I understand, I say it. I say it that way because I say what you said with risk starts before the execution of the trade, just because it's so true. Like it is 100% the truth. And the best way to say it, like everything that you need risk wise, the chart will give you before you even enter. So why set a stop loss and limit yourself if you ultimately know where you're at? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to get any manipulation against us and stuff like that, because patience is more valuable inside the market versus outside. When they talk about patience, we break these conversations down, and I'm not talking about always and 100% of the people communicating. I am talking the majority. The majority is not profitable. The majority cannot take a payout. 5%, they say 5%, but how many of those 5% are actually gamblers that can actually take a payout with Take Profit Trader or TopZip or Apex or any of these people, how many people can actually take a payout? It's probably 1% of people that are not gambling. 1%, a 1%er. That's a fact. And, you know, I bet you when they say 5% of the traders get payouts and stuff like that, we need to look at the data. How many, here's the thing. Okay. So did they have 200,000 test accounts to get the one payout? Yeah. Right. So what is the actual numbers? So consider yourself that your accomplishment is because, and I'm verifying that you showed me your trades and I looked them over and you have identified one trade on there that it wasn't good. And this is because of X, Y, and Z. And it was not your opinion. And if you remember, and you did because you came back and told me, is I saw that trade and I didn't say anything about it. And there's a reason. Nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
But after that conversation, you even contacted me and then pointed that out. Is that true?
Yeah. Yep.
But I saw it. But I didn't say nothing to you because I don't expect you to be perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But if we have a system that is objective and we follow it to the best of our ability at that date and time, we can have a bad day in the morning. This is not an excuse, but have a bad day and emotionally not being in tune with the chart. We can be, I really want to trade today. I really want to trade today. And I have 15 minutes and the market's supposed to give me what I want in the 15 minutes and you're shortening your time. Not a good place to be.
Yep.
Not a good place to be. Or, okay, I'll just make a trade in the parking lot. Don't want to miss this market. I've done all that. I've done it. It's not good therapy because it'll ruin your whole day. It will ruin your whole day. And what's most important is your skill, and the skill that you are obtaining and that you are gaining is incredible. It's nice. It's really nice to see another trader gaining the skill and having the feeling inside. What would you say about that?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, just like you were saying, coming from trading for almost a year and not, investing thousands of dollars into trading and trying to make money, like to coming to today, where today is the first time that I've ever been able to take money out of the market and put it directly into my bank account and see an increase from it. And so to go from that to where I'm at now and seeing that I've only been with you for like 2.5 months, and so from a year of struggle and non-profitability to 2.5 months of solid, study, execution, learning how it actually works, how the charts actually work and the language that it speaks. It's been incredible. Like it's been really, really eye-opening for me. And just help build confidence in myself as well. That, you can actually take a payout. Like it is possible if you know it, if you do it the right way and you put the effort in and put the time in and actually do it and learn. Yeah, I just can't say enough, like how grateful I am for you, first of all, for teaching us, and just being willing to, help us through the process. And it's been life-changing. Like I said, it still seems unreal to me. But it's been really good.
What does your wife say?
She's blown away basically every time I take a trade, and I'm like, oh, I just, hit another trade. And she's just like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, it's just, yeah. So
we should have asked her to come on and we could have blanked some stuff out or blanked it out, but it'd be interesting to hear, like, that he was trying, or, he kept,
I'll tell you, there's been times where I sat there and freaking cried, man. Like it just so, difficult at times. And she had to be there, and so she saw that and she was there, and she's just said how proud she is of the progress that I've made. And so it's really nice. It's been really good.
Not to relive those times, but I could see the emotion. And could you, and if you want, could you take us back a little bit and tell the community how you felt? Because you touched on a very important thing that maybe traders understand. When we go through critical, incident briefings, and, I've been through several of them. When you start to talk and you start to talk in the community, the reason we go through those critical incident briefings is because you have all these feelings inside and you think that you're alone and you think that, I'm weak. I shouldn't be thinking this way. Maybe you're upset. Maybe you're crying. men aren't supposed to cry, right? And you go through these emotions that you feel that nobody else goes through, and you start to blame yourself and start to think. But when you do go through those critical incident briefings, which I've had, you start to hear everyone communicate. And that's why I do interviews, is to bring back to the community that you're not alone. I feel you, man. You're not alone. And could you go back on some of those emotions if you would like to, and bring us to where you were at and those dark days?
Yeah. So I think on some of those occasions, it was just a lot of frustration with myself, frustration with why I made certain decisions or why I continued to make certain decisions, or just make stupid decisions, basically, like things that I knew I shouldn't do. In those moments, though, those were the hardest times were the best times on the other side of the hard time. Like it almost took that hardship or whatever, that moment of dark time to get over that hurdle that I was up against. Ultimately, at that time, there was something at that moment that I was doing that was not right, and it was showing in my trading. And so I had to confront that, and it meant crying on the floor, like sitting there having to wrestle with it in my mind. And maybe it didn't even have to do with trading. Maybe it was something outside of trading that I was letting affect my trading. But ultimately, those times and those hurdles, those things that I had to get over, ultimately led me to some of the best successes I feel like that I've had in trading. And it's been a really, really humbling experience, I would say, throughout it, and just being able to see the progress and look back on those times where it was really hard and be able to see, like, dang, like, look where I'm at now. Like, look at the progress, look at those things that we overcame to get to where we're at now. And that ultimately helps me to keep pushing forward when things get hard again, like to look back on that and be able to say, I made it through that. Like, there's something that I need to learn here. Like, this isn't it. This isn't over. I'm not done, right? Like, I just need to learn something. So let's figure out what it is I need to learn, improve on it, and move forward.
Wow. So, so the last couple months have been life-changing for you.
Yeah, definitely.
When you go out to eat for lunch or dinner, and you're sitting there, and when there's a moment of peace and there's a moment of quiet, maybe peace is not a good word, but a moment, where people are quiet.
I got 4 kids, so there's never any quiet.
Yeah, I agree. Right.
I know what you're saying, though. Yeah.
There's only one of me. There's only one of me. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll divide you up really quick. But, so when you're sitting there and you have a moment or a thought come into your head and you're enjoying your, the beautiful time with your family, and you're sitting there, you're taking a sip of your favorite drink or whatever it may be, or bite of your favorite food, and you sit there and something comes into your head about trading. Do you ever have a thought that says, wow, I think I did it. I think I have found something. I think I'm not scared anymore. I don't have a fear. I don't have FOMO. And it's only going to get better. Do you have those thoughts?
All the time. I have to pry myself away from the computer, away from the charts, because it's just, I want to be there. I want to be like, I want to continue to learn and continue to be better. But I do get those all the time. Whenever I'm not trading and I'm just out and I think about it, it's like, man, like, what am I going to do? I have to figure out something to do with my life now. Because you really, like, sometimes I just get bored. Like, I'm done trading. It's 8:30 in the morning. Like, okay, what do I do now? Like, so you gotta, yeah.
So my suggestion would be a nice hobby, and I'm not a financial planner or anything else like that. But, when I say people, full-time trader and stuff like that, you're a full-time family man, right? So that's what's most important, right? Life and health and family. The trading is not full-time. And you could put a lot of time in. And what I had found is that for traders out there is quiet time is the best time to practice. And I don't say back testing, And I just did a video. This is funny. I make mistakes in editing and stuff like that. And I just did a video and I watched it, and it's back testing. I put CKS on it. I misspelled the damn thing. Going back, the videos take a long time to make, by the way, 2 or 3 hours. For me, it takes a long time, and to edit and it takes a really long time. But that's not my profession. I don't need to go out there and make the best videos and stuff like that. It's the true and factual content that we're looking for, and just like your stories. And it's not about glamour. It's not about P&L, because you're going to be rewarded for all of the good behavior. You're going to be rewarded for your skill. And you are now, Sean, being rewarded for your skill, and you will be rewarded for life if you don't change anything and you keep working on what I showed you and what I taught you. If you go against the system that I taught you, you will not be profitable. Now, those are harsh words, but if you go against what I taught you, you will not be profitable. You will not be successful at it. Yeah. Do you disagree with that?
No, I agree with that. I've found that every single time that I've gone against it or made a mistake and didn't make a trade in the right spot, you get burned a little bit. And so you got to be precise. We are dealing with a beast. The market's a beast, and we got to be precise and get as much information as possible and be as accurate as possible.
And the market has more money than us, not traders. We're not against each other.
Yep.
Do we ever brag about our profits? No. It's a reward from good behavior. It's a reward from the skill. The only thing difference is leverage. So if you would have put 50, 60, 70, 100 lots on your trades, you wouldn't have made $1,300. You would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah. It is the actual skill that matters. And that's why here at breathingwiththemarkets.com, I do not teach you how much you're going to make in a day, how much you're going to make in a lifetime. It's about a skill. Everyone's financial needs, financial situation is different. It's not about the Rolex and the cars and the house and where you live and are you renting or are you buying? And look at me. It is an actual skill that you will have a lifetime.
Yeah.
So any last words? I'm proud of you. Great for your transparency. All of the traders are transparent, and you have great transparency, and you're not afraid to show me your trades, whether it be a good trade or a bad trade. And we don't sit there and harp on bad, because we know what we did wrong, right?
Yep.
We know what we did wrong, and stay focused. Do you have any last words?
No, just thanks for taking the time to talk with me and work with me. And if anybody is watching that is interested in getting with Breathing with the Markets, I would highly recommend it. It's changed my life and changed my trading in the best way possible. So
where do you see yourself in a year? And I know not in months, in a year from now, with your skill level. Where do you see? Because we have to practice. Professional athletes practice all the time, right? They practice year round. They may take a couple weeks off of doing something, right?
Yeah.
Heal the body a little bit, but they do practice all the time, right? They can't go to spring training and not be in shape, because spring training is not where you get into shape. Spring training is kind of like pregame. It's game time, right? Yeah. And then as you go through spring training or whatever, so it's same with trading. And once you become a trader, a true trader, right? Not a gambler. Once you become a true trader, it's going to be part of your life. It will be part of your life. So with that said, it will be part of your life. Don't you want it to be a good part of your life? Or do you want it to cause havoc, family stuff, family issues, friends issues, whatever the case may be? You want it to be a good part of your life. What do you say about that?
Yeah, definitely. Ultimately you want to do what makes you happy, right? And if you're not profitable, then you're not. I was never happy when I wasn't profitable. So, being able to see the objectiveness, see the results, see the payouts, and just the ease of it, basically. It's like the more you get to it, or the more you get into it, the easier it becomes to see what you're looking for. And to answer your question, is in a year from now, I can only imagine being twice as good or 10 times as good as spotting and seeing things as I am now. I'm sure that there's lots of stuff that I overlook, I should say, at this stage of where I'm at, that I should be spotting or could be spotting, and that will come with time, I feel. So.
And when you say should be spotting and overlook, are these things that I showed you what to look for?
Yeah, definitely. I try and recognize everything, while we're going through. There's definitely things that I miss at times. But yeah, it's all the objective things that you've taught me to spot in the market.
Well, we can scan, because I take trades a lot, and not saying don't do this, right? Because you're still learning, and doesn't mean I don't. I show you my charts in the morning sometimes, and I'll send them out to the group or whatever. And it's set up the same way. I'm trading the same way. I'm doing the same thing. And that's what transparency is about. Are we doing it the same way? Can we have a group session? And by the way, I think I'm going to have one possibly this weekend. I may or may not, but are we doing things the same way? And if we can communicate the same way and we're doing things the same way, it's so powerful. Like if you have a group of 7 to 10 people or 8 people or whatever the case may be, and everyone's doing the same way, and you're having a not so good week, you understand that it still works.
Yep.
That you have to become better at something, not everything, but at something is not allowing you to succeed.
Yep.
And it's something objective that you're not doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thank you. Thank you, Sean, for everything. And I wish you well. And more payouts to come. Don't be greedy and stay focused. Absolutely stay focused and do not gamble. But if you stay focused and consistent, then you're going to get better and better in each and every day. And I'm a lifetime student, and I always will admit that I'm a lifetime student because I want to get better and better and better and better. And people say, don't strive for perfection. I strive for perfection.
Yeah.
So I want to be my perfect. Maybe my perfect is half of someone else. It's still my perfect.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to be. And I wish you well, and I wish your family well. Have a great day.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
Peace.
The ability to do that, right? The ability to scale that much and make that much money with the skill that you have is insane. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It can be. That's why I say leverage. Leverage is evil. Leverage is evil when you have a trailing drawdown, because when the candles are flexing inside and expanding inside, what you see is not what you get. So that's why everything is fake. I mean, the candle prints. What was the actual high and low within the candle? Because a lot of times price will spike up so high, the candle, and then by the time price moves down and starts to go southbound, it never even had a chance to print.
Yeah.
Never had a chance to print. Therefore, if you have high leverage and a trailing drawdown, that's evil.
Yeah.
That's their moneymaker. That's their business plan.